is the scale of reinforcement. To reinforce means to strengthen. In teaching, reinforcement refers to the strengthening of learned behavior so that it is retained for a long time. This is a psychological skill which aims at sensitizing the learner to realize the importance of what they have learned. As a student teacher, you need to be aware of the importance of reinforcement. You also need to know how to apply it in the learning situation. Types of reinforcement exist which you need to know. These are positive and negative reinforcements. Positive reinforcement of behavior increases the likelihood that a learned behavior will recur. This means that if a learner is able to provide a correct answer, this correct answer should recur whenever it is asked for. We shall not elaborate on negative reinforcement in learning since it is not desirable. Perhaps you need to know the following general characteristics of positive reinforcement. First, positive reinforcements vary with the individual differences in the learners. While some students will be highly reinforced by some specific positive reinforcers, others will be reinforced very weakly, while others may not be reinforced at all. Secondly, besides reinforcing learning, reinforcers are used by teachers to increase learner participation in classroom activities. Active participation increases learning in turn. It is advisable for you to involve learners so that they participate actively in classroom activities, as this is likely to increase the ability to retain what is being learned. While you practice reinforcement in teaching, remember to vary the reinforcers. The following are reinforcers which you may use invariably. 1. Use positive, encouraging words like good, fine, correct, well done, thank you for answers, and so on. 2. Use positive non-verbal reinforcement, nodding the head in an affirmative way, smiling while accepting the answer, movement closer to the learner, and accepting the response, using body contact such as patting on the shoulders and even a handshake. You may write the answer on the blackboard or non-verbally indicate acceptance of learners' contributions. 3. You may delay reinforcing a learner and do it in the following lesson. This means focusing the learner's attention to the correctness of a previous answer. 4. You should provide cues to learners' attempts, even if they are not adequate answers. Give the learner the answer and keep reinforcing the attempts he makes. Reinforcement is used to encourage learners to build confidence in themselves. It can be used to help learners overcome shyness. You can help shy and withdrawn students by reinforcing them step by step. You now come close to watching the video on reinforcement. Try to enrich yourself with the wide variety of reinforcers being used. This is important since it will help you avoid using a specific kind of reinforcer repeatedly. For instance, saying thank you, and so on. While watching the video, check and note the following aspects of reinforcement skill practice. 1. Does the teacher reinforce learners who answer questions correctly? 2. List down positive reinforcers used. 3. Observe very carefully and note down all the positive reinforcers used. 4. How does the teacher reinforce learners whose answers are partially correct? Lastly, note whether the teacher gives any delayed reinforcement by referring to the learner's previous response.
And we're going to look at irony in Things Fall Apart. We are going to first of all to start with a definition, and I'll ask Omondi to define for us irony.
Irony is a situation whereby circumstances or fates or some facts seems to mock someone. That is, somebody feels that he's doing the correct thing, while in real sense he is destroying himself.
Very good. Well done. That's correct. Irony is in fact a situation where circumstances or fate or facts seem to mock someone. He's doing a very good job, so he thinks, but in actual fact, he's destroying himself. And we're going to get some examples from Things Fall Apart, where circumstances seem to mock the main character, Okonkwo. Can you give us one such incident? Tom?
One incident is when Okonkwo participates in the killing of Ikemefuna.
Yes, correct. That is the killing of Ikemefuna. Participation, that's the most important. Participation in the killing of Ikemefuna. Another? Diabo?
This is when Okonkwo beat his wife during the week of peace.
Right, that's correct. When Okonkwo beats his wife during the week of peace, what's the name of this wife who is beaten during the week of peace? Okonkwo has many wives. Yes.
She's the second wife who is called Ojuko.
Ojuko. Ojuko is beaten during the week of peace. That's an incident of irony. Another one, Kale?
When Okonkwo killed court messenger.
Okonkwo kills the court messenger, correct. That's right. That's another incident of irony. Another? We have Osiko.
Okonkwo forcing his son to work in the garden.
Correct, that's right. Okonkwo forcing his son to work in the garden every day. What's the name of the son? Let's have Mole.
It's called Noah.
Good. Noe. Noe is forced to work in the garden daily. What's wrong with that one? What's wrong with Noe? Why does he find it abandoned? Uganda?
Still too young.
Correct. Good. He's still too young. The boy is too young to work. Anything else? Modi?
We find that Okonkwo wanted Noe to grow up as a man, just like himself. But Noe was still too young to understand the facts that his father tried to drive him to. Therefore, he escapes from his own home and joins the Christian community.
Very good. Very good. He escapes his home and joins Christian community because he's too young to understand all these things. Ochieng, can you think of another incident?
I think when the Okonkwo had a meeting, when he called a certain man that is an Akbala, meaning that he did not take any title.
He did not take any title. How would we? That's correct. But how would we put that one in summary form? Can you summarize it?
When he killed the court messenger.
Well done. When he kills the court messenger, he shows that in fact this is the last straw. And he kills the court messenger, this is the last straw. He is the chief court messenger. Now let us now explain or find out the irony in his actions. Now what is the irony in the killing of the court messenger? Let's start there first. What is the irony in the killing of the court messenger? Siko?
The bravery of the Okonkwo. He wanted to show that he is brave, that even if it means the colonies or the white man,
yes,
he can fight them.
Yes, correct. That's right. That in fact he wanted to show that the white man is nothing. He cannot, he may defeat the others, people like Obieka. That's their problem. But he, Okonkwo, will not sit by. So, how does it destroy him? How does this bravery and confidence destroy Okonkwo?
You find that when Okonkwo died, he was buried in the evil forest.
Quite, but let us now first answer that question. How does this bravery prove useless and destructive?
Because you see, when the people noticed about the killing of the court messenger,
Yes.
they were not happy about it.
They are not happy about it.
So they despised him.
Good. They are not happy about it. So do they despise him? Let's get that one very accurate. You are right to say they despise him, that they do not accept. But did they quite despise him? Tom.
They despised him because they did not accompany him when he was fighting the court messenger. They left other messengers to run away while Okonkwo get the
They allow the other messengers to run away. That's right. But what is their attitude? Can you describe their attitude? When they say, why did you do it? How would you quite describe that attitude? Why did he do it?
They deserted him.
They deserted him. That's right. They deserted him. That's the attitude. That in fact, instead of helping, instead of supporting, they deserted him. They rejected him, in fact. Right. What is therefore the tragedy in that one? What's the irony in that one? What's the irony in that one? Kale?
Okonkwo thought that he'll be helped after killing that court messenger.
Yeah.
But the people in the society told him why he did that way. So they didn't help him in any way, but left him there.
Exactly. That's right. He expected, what he received was completely the opposite of what he expected. So the circumstances mocked him. Yeah?
In this lesson, the teacher has focused on the practice of the skill of reinforcement, thus rewarding learners after attempting the tasks posed to them. The skills of reinforcement practiced above were as follows. Positive verbal reinforcement, in which the teacher used encouraging words like good, correct, right, excellent, and thanks. 2. Positive nonverbal reinforcement, in which the teacher used actions like smiles, nodding, moving towards the learners, and patting the learners. 3. Focusing the reinforcement by relating the learner's answer to previous ones. In this case, the contribution could have been made earlier by the same learner or by another classmate. 4. Partially accepting the learner's contribution. This involved inviting other attempts from the learners to supplement the initial performance. This class had a few shy students whose contributions could not be heard by the class. I hope you noted how the teacher reinforced them. While urging them to speak louder, the teacher looked at them with a smiling face, moved closer to them, and showed keenness in what they said. Where the answers were correct, the teacher repeated them and nodded in the affirmative. It was observable further in the lesson that the teacher used a wide variety of reinforcers, both verbal and nonverbal, and in some instances combined the two. What is important for you to take note of is that each reinforcer should be used to convey a different feeling and meaning. It should also convey a given level of emphasis. For example, use good or excellent where appropriate, as they convey different levels of emphasis. Avoid using the following 1. Exaggerative adjectives such as fantastic, tremendous, terrific, as they convey inappropriate emphasis. Repeating a given reinforcer, for example, good, good, very good, good attempt, and so on. 3. Over-reinforcing a specific individual. In this case, delay such reinforcements or just skip them. 4. Ridiculing a specific individual by use of negative reinforcers, such as stupid, careless boy, filthy work, and so on.